Hi, I'm Craig Parry, founder and CEO of IsoEnergy. We're a uranium explorer with a recent high-grade discovery in Canada's Athabasca Basin. Before we talk about our high-grade discovery, the Hurricane deposit, I'll just touch on a little bit of the macro picture and what we're seeing at the moment. We're in the earliest of stages of a uranium bull market. We've seen prices rise strongly from $23 a pound 3 months ago to $34 a pound today in the spot market. And we're seeing longer-term contracts written at much higher prices today as well. We think that uranium prices will continue to rise strongly because a lot of this production that we've seen close in recent times is set to stay offline for much of the rest of the year, and that puts the market in serious supply deficit. So good time to be looking at uranium and a great time to make a high-grade discovery. And that's what we've done here at IsoEnergy. We've made the most recent high-grade discovery in the Athabasca Basin. Now, I should say we're a spin-out of NexGen Energy. Lee Courier, CEO of NexGen, is IsoEnergy's chairman. I was a co-founder of NexGen. And so this is the second major high-grade uranium discovery we've made in the basin, this time on the eastern side of the basin. You can see the core tray there from one of our drill holes of the winter campaign. That's our best drill hole to date. We hit 8.5 meters at 34% U3O8, so extraordinarily high grade. In gold equivalent terms, that 8.5 meters would be 320 grams per ton gold. And we've had, as you can see on the right-hand side there, a huge amount of other successful drill holes. And very importantly, we're about to start drilling again on a summer drill campaign out at the Hurricane deposit. We have a very simple strategy. Put your foot on as much of that eastern Athabasca area as you can. It's the home of the highest grade and biggest uranium mines in the world. And we're surrounded by all of this fantastic infrastructure. And if you look at these orange areas are our land position in that eastern Athabasca. Up here we have our Larocque East property, and this is where we've made our Hurricane discovery. Now, importantly, that's only 40 kilometres away from the major McLean Lake mill, which is owned by the French conglomerate Orano. So where are we? Well, you can see the McLean Lake mill there. There's a track and road that goes past the Larocque East property. So we're only 40 kilometres away from that McLean Lake mill. You can see a number of other major deposits in this area, including Cameco's Eagle Point, Rio Tinto's Rough Rider deposit, and then up here, our Hurricane deposit. You can see this conductive trend, which is where we've made our discovery, and there are a number of occurrences along that, and the most significant of which is proving to be our Hurricane deposit. You can see a few more of the results that we've had there over recent times, and I'll just get into a little bit of detail on the deposit itself. This is the Hurricane zone here. You can see our property boundary here. So we're drilling to the property boundary. This orange area is the high-grade zone that we've defined so far. Very, very high-grade mineralization, typical of those high-grade unconformity-related deposits like Cigar Lake. The mineralization extends over 600 meters and is typically 40 meters wide. You can note in this map here a number of areas where we haven't closed off the deposit. And this is important because our next drilling campaign will be targeting these zones to look to expand the mineralization and deposit that we've got. Very importantly, we're in an excellent location. We're not covered by any bodies of water there, and we're only 40 kilometres away from that major mill, which I should say is underfed at present. Very importantly here, you'll note the areas we're planning on drilling. You can see this mineralized zone here, number of basement tapping structures that are the focus or loci of mineralization and important in the formation of these deposits. And you'll note that next to some of these very high-grade intercepts we've had here, this hole here, 8.5 meters at 34% uranium, we haven't closed that off at all on that section to the north or south. So we'll be drilling in and around those zones come the summer, come August, and you can expect some very strong news flow from us there. Another example of a section that we're yet to close off, you can see this mineralized zone here that includes a hole where we hit 8.5 meters at nearly 20% uranium. And again, we haven't closed that off to the south. So again, we're going to be drilling in and around those holes and you can look out for those results coming in August, September this year. And just lastly, in terms of where we're at and the geology there, you can see the conductive trend here, our hurricane zone, this conductive trend sweeping around here. And you'll note that we have a number of other mineralized intercepts on the property that haven't been followed up yet. So we see plenty of potential for further discovery on the property itself. Just in terms of where this deposit sits in relation to other major deposits of the Athabasca Basin, you'll note that we're only 325 metres below surface, and so relatively shallow compared to some of the other major mines like MacArthur River and Cigar Lake. The capital structure, very importantly, and this is one of the most important points of this presentation, is that NexGen's a 52% shareholder. NexGen's participated strongly in each of the last capital raisings, and so we have a very strong, supportive major shareholder there that's very happy with what we're achieving. Our share price chart, you can see that we've performed relatively well in the past 12 months, largely off the back of this high-grade discovery we have. We're very well funded. We've got over $3 million in the bank, which sees us funded for the coming drill campaign. And so we're uniquely positioned in that sense. A little bit about the management team. I'd like to just mention Steve Blower here. Steve was the head of exploration at Denison. He led the team that made the Griffin discovery there, so that's an important deposit in its own right, before joining us and leading the team to discover the Hurricane deposit. The board, all of those gentlemen are key board members at NexGen, of course, and so you can again see that we've got that strong connection to NexGen. Of course, Lee Courier, our chairman, is the CEO of NexGen. So there you have it, IsoEnergy in summary. We're the only junior in the market today with a recent high-grade discovery. The timing's excellent. We're at the start of a bull market, and we think that people are going to want to invest in excellent uranium exploration stories as that market kicks off. We've got a team with an unprecedented track record, really. The guys have made a number of major discoveries now. I think between us and the NexGen team, we've discovered more pounds than just about anyone else in the world in the last 20 years. We're in the right location. We're in Saskatchewan. In the Athabasca Basin, the home of the highest grade deposits, and very importantly, we're tightly held by our major shareholder and supportive shareholder, NexGen, and so not much free float is out there on the market, and so whenever we put out good results or you see uranium prices rise, we see our share price outperform most others. So thank you very much. We look forward to talking to you at Mines and Money in coming days.